my girl, sipping on tea, filling up cups, supposed to be. Me and my girl, sipping on tea, filling up cups, supposed to be at the Tea Party Podcast. Just grab
if you have a passion, I believe
Tea Party Podcast.
what are you waiting for? What's up, guys? I'm your host, Amber Eldrian, and you are now tuned into the Tea Party Podcast. Of course, I have my lovely co-host here with me.
Hi, it's Des. It's Ronnie. What's up?
And today we're talking about purpose and vision. Do you all feel like you know what your purpose is?
I have an idea on what it could be, but directly, no, I do not.
Your purpose could be just like one thing.
That's true too.
Because it's
Yeah.
like your purpose in this day could be to do this.
Multiple
and then the
things.
next day. it's
Yeah,
something
yeah,
else,
yeah.
Or even the next
Yeah,
moment. So
that's
it's
real.
like,
That's real. Yeah, that's facts. It's very complex
now, when
question.
you say, what is your assignment? Because we've talked about
Okay.
that before. Then that's different because
She
it's a
knows.
specific task. It's a, you know.
Yes.
But your purpose,
Yes.
there's a lot, you know.
Yeah.
Now let's kind of dive deeper into the assignment aspect of a purpose, because as Destiny said, your purpose can change. Your purpose can be different from day to day, but what's your assignment? What do you feel like? What are your gifts? I equate my assignment with what are the natural born talents I was given, and what are the ones that I worked hard to achieve as well. What did the manufacturer place into you? That's how I look at it. You know, I feel like we were all born with something. Even if you haven't figured it out quite yet, I think it's very important to figure out what that something is.
Mm-hmm.
Because who wants to wake up and just not know?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's somebody out there who just don't care. But I feel like our purpose is to serve each other and to help ourselves first, to better serve other people.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking back at our episode of Season of Elevation today.
People don't want to understand it's crabs in the bucket. They gonna keep trying to bring you back. They want
Look, in buckets too.
Yeah,
When they
buckets, barrels,
fans,
all of it. For real, look, they all in the. They all
there.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, but they want to keep you in the same environment. They want to keep you at that where they're at. They don't want to see you elevated. Like,
But that's
they
really in
have you
our
stay with me.
community, though.
And we're talking about the crabs in the bucket. The crabs in the
Oh,
barrel
yeah.
mentality. And I wonder, how did we get there? I know, I think. Like, how did we get there as a society, as a nation of people, especially in the Black community? Why don't we help each other to achieve our purposes? And why isn't the older generation talking to the younger generation about what do you want to do? You know, who do you want to be? How do you want to help your community? How can you help your community?
Mm-hmm.
How can you help the world? But I guess when you got a lot going on as a child in the hood, you're not thinking about the world. You're thinking about your world.
Yeah.
So I think it's good for us to have these type of conversations because I don't feel like they're being had. You know?
To just like unpack the first part, it's like, what are your gifts and talents? A lot of times it's just not something that you just walk into knowing, you know, like you really do have to figure it out, like,
An experiment.
and try and be
Mhm.
like, okay, well, this didn't work out. But I told you the other day, like, I've been putting myself in just different situations just to like try to find myself, you know, like you can find a lot about yourself by just stepping out of your comfort zone and seeing how you handle things around you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you never know, like, hey, like, okay, if I never went to a convention, but I stepped out of my comfort zone and went to one, and I turned out loving it. And then all of a sudden, I realized that I have this deeper connection with people and speaking. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, wow, maybe this was one of my gifts or my talents. But it's like if we keep ourselves confined into just our norms, I think it's hard to really dig deep and try to find yourself.
Right.
So always, like, for me, especially now, like, I mean, of course, life experiences happen too, so that helps try to figure out, okay, maybe I'm more sensitive than I thought and stuff like that. But like, I found like a new passion, and I know that you were mentioning like poetry, but I've been like actually like writing some stuff down. I'm like, but it started with Golden Light with journaling.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
And you just
I would
started
shout her out
singing
every
it.
time.
Shout out to Look, she made an impression.
She did a lot.
Yeah.
Because I turned my life around. For real.
That's what's up.
They're
That's what
helping
it was
me to
meant
heal,
for.
Toya.
Yeah.
For real. Like, I
That,
y'all know
yeah.
those writing prompts are for real. That's it.
We say that every episode
It's-
because it
it's
actually
not-
works.
We gonna have to insert
Works.
that again into this.
Yeah.
She's gonna have
episode
to
too,
come
'cause,
back.
yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Like,
For sure, yeah.
Bro. So, just like different things, it's crazy how you can really tap into stuff that you never even knew was a part of you.
Mhm.
But then I also feel like that's why we go through things too, to try to like help us. It's like our quest, our destiny. It's like to go through things so we can figure more out about ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I feel like one of her questions was like, were you happy with yourself?
Mhm.
And I was like, I'm journaling, and usually, you know, everyone's like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm like,
How you gonna lie to yourself?
and then you know,
It's self-awareness.
and that's just like a natural thing. But when the thing is, she asked that question almost last, so you've already written so much. You're already in an expressive like mindset. So it was like it was easy for the truth to just like come out, and I was like, no. And then as I read that, I was like, well, you can't just stop there.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Because you're gonna revisit this.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, why are you not happy? And I explained it to myself. It's like happy to me is like content. So it's like, I don't know. I don't want to be content with myself.
Right.
You know? Because I feel like I'm always learning. I'm always growing. I'm always evolving. So to be happy, I feel like, okay, no, I'm not happy.
Right.
I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm not knocking myself or anything. But it's like happy is just like so solidified. It's just such a like, I just like, no. Yeah, like,
Yeah. And content itself is very stationary.
yeah, I don't want to be idle. I don't want to be nothing.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always trying to grow.
Mhm.
And so when she said that, I was like, I wonder how many people just be like, yeah, I'm happy with myself and go about writing. But it's like, are you really? You know, because happy kind of means like, all right, well, I'm done. You know, in a sense, like, I'm happy with myself. All right.
I
It's
feel like
over.
happy
But like,
is an
what is
emotion.
it? Yeah.
And emotions are fleeting. So you
Yeah.
can't be happy all the time because you live life.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
you go through things.
If you are happy all the time, then you're not experiencing life. You're not going through anything. You're not putting yourself in uncomfortable or new environments or situations, you know? So, yeah.
Because I almost feel like it's almost nonchalant, but not in the negative way. You know, it's just like you're just going about life. Just
Yeah.
happy with this, happy with
Yeah.
but it's like, are you dealing with things? You know, and that's the thing. Sometimes we just pass over things and we overlook it and we don't really deal with stuff. And when you're dealing, that's when you realize who you are. You know, and
look, pause.
That's big.
Pause
and you're
because
dealing is when you realize who you are.
yeah.
That's big. That's real. You start to realize your character and you even build character during that.
Definitely.
That's why you gotta deal with stuff. Don't try to push stuff off. Don't try to just avoid it. You know, just deal with it. But all right, what am I made of with this situation? It's me or the situation.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah. And I learned that late too. And
I think we all did for real.
Girl. And I realized that I was like, I didn't realize it till I was in a situation, in an environment that I couldn't change. Usually I'm pretty good at like, I'm in a situation, I'm in an environment, I'm like, whoop, I exit myself out. Like, I was like, all right, yeah, no, I don't want to deal with that. But I was in an environment where I had to deal with.
Yeah.
So I had to like, talk to myself and like be aware of the situation and the environment. Like, okay, I have to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, let's get through this. 'Cause I have no other choice. You know what I'm saying? And actually, I came out of it with an elevation in character, and I noticed that. I was like, oh, I kind of like being in an uncomfortable situation.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because you never know how you're gonna come out of it.
Right.
And if you don't come out the way that you like expected, or maybe like the best way, you still know for next time. Like, you know, it's that experience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
I definitely agree. I definitely feel like if we're looking at it from a spiritual aspect, you know, the Father puts you through things, like the Heavenly Father puts you through things to strengthen you. You know, it might be the enemy using that thing to break you down, but in the end, like Destiny was saying, it's how you deal with it. And suffering creates endurance. You know, it's like when you watch one of those fighter movies, like what is it, Unleashed, with who's the main character for that?
That sounds
Unleashed with
Denzel?
not Denzel. I want to say it's Jet Li. But he has on the collar and he's a fighter, but he goes through like these horrible experiences. He's the best. And it's not really because of the abuse, but it's because of the character he built during the abuse. And it's like, that's kind of how you have to look at life. When life starts throwing things at you, you just got to become tunnel vision. You know, it's like, okay, I got this thing, I got that thing. It don't mean you're not going to break down. It don't mean you're not going to have times where you cry, where you lost, where you just don't know, where your cup is completely empty. But if you still have that cup in your hand, you can walk, you can run, you can crawl to find a well, to find some water, to find a friend, you know. And I feel like that's how focused we have to be when it comes to pursuing our purpose and our vision and our goals. And they all fall under the same umbrella. How do you stay focused on your purpose and your vision? Like, what are some helpful things that help you stay focused during the suffering?
Remembering why you're doing it. Remembering what was your initial motivation that started you or initiated you getting into your purpose, if that makes sense. I know that's worked for me in the past. Like, okay, like, because you drift off, like, you know, naturally, like, I mean, we're human. Like, it's going to happen. Like, we go through life and we drift off from just pushing towards, like, our purpose or our assignment, if you do know your purpose and assignment. But yeah, just remembering why, the why. And I think journaling can help with that. Honestly, because you can go back and see, like, and, you know, look at what you've written before and be able to be like, hey, yeah, I need to get back into that. You know, I was doing things like this. I was feeling this way when I was doing that. So I need to get back into that, you know? So
I'm glad you said that, because yesterday I found myself going through the pictures of my phone and some of the videos, and I saw this video I made at a certain point in my life on, like, I like to make my meditation mood, you know? Okay. So I had my little fireplace on, I had my candles lit, I had my lights on, and I had, like, Tibetan bowl sounds in the background. And I took a video of myself speaking affirmations to myself. And so when I came across this video, my cup was empty. I was at a low point. And I was just like, okay, Amber, like, you know, I hear you.
That remembrance.
You know, it was just like, okay, because at first I was like, okay, there I go meditating and stuff. And I was like, wait, what did I say? You know, it's just
let me play that back. Because
right. And so, like, journaling from a video perspective or from recording on your phone, even if it's just a voice note speaking to yourself, I'm glad that I did that and didn't even realize that future me was going to need it.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that that's definitely a good thing to do too, because that helps.
That's a good idea.
Right?
You are reminding yourself.
Anchoring yourself.
Verbally.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
stop
that.
Yeah.
Remember.
Definitely those reminders, like, even if it's a pick-me-up like that, you know, like, all right, you know, gotta remember who you were at one point, like those good feelings, you know,
right.
like, okay, I was once doing this and this made me feel really good. And now I'm watching it, I'm like, dang, she's a badass bitch. You know, like, then you start, like, feeling yourself, like, or I try to, like, just to maintain, my biggest thing is I'm always trying to just stay hopeful. Like, like, oh man, like, okay, well, this is just a rough patch, but tomorrow is a different day. Like, you know, that's my mindset for everything. But I just be like, those days sometimes when you feel just so defeated, it's okay to cry. Like, I be calling her crying, I be calling her crying, like, because everybody just don't have those days where it's just like, okay, like, it's perfect. You know, I feel like sometimes the weight of the world it gets extra heavy sometimes. And then when you get in those moments where it's just like, man, you know, why?
Right.
That's the trigger. Why? So then, like, talking to my friends and, you know, having those reminders, even if it's going back into a journal, or I like that though. When I can go back and like read something where I was like having a bad day, I'm like, damn. Well, you know, today really ain't that bad.
Right.
You know,
right.
and then it kind of makes me feel like, all right, you know what? Stop being so hard on yourself. Go do something that you like.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of have a problem with spending. Because I will call them and I'm somewhere buying something. But
The shades.
that is my self-care is like my self-care. It's therapy to me. It's my comfort. It's like the hug that I need.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, well, if I feel good, if I look good, you know, like I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's good and bad. But in that moment when you just need something that's just like, all right, I just need to feel like life isn't terrible.
Yeah.
Do something nice.
Shedding that light. Yeah.
Like, you have to be your own friend sometimes too. You know, like, go get yourself some ice cream. I know you on a keto. I know you on a no sugar. But stay disciplined. Don't listen to me. Hold on.
Don't get too much ice cream because that's what
cheat days are okay. Cheat days are okay, or no, not even a cheat day. Cheat meal. Yeah, cheat meal.
Just treat yourself.
Yeah, just treat yourself. Like,
you deserve it.
It don't gotta be a whole week, whole day, or whatever. Like, it can just be like a Reese's cup. like I say Reese's, cause look, Reese's do help me. Hey, chocolate really do.
Hey,
chocolate be doing it.
Listen, chocolate make all the pain go away.
Yeah, bruh.
Remember, and you got served when she said, what she said? Hot chocolate make the pain go away.
Yeah.
I never forgot that line.
I did.
I don't know. She looks like, is she Megan Good? Or
it was Megan Good.
I think it is Megan Good. She look good too. She still look good.
What is this movie?
You got served. What you mean?
I was thinking
Lil Saint. Do it for the Saint.
Do it for Lil Saint.
You know, with the Marcus Houston and the Mario, everybody thought they were brothers. They are not brothers. Didn't they think? What is that a phase?
They stepbrothers.
Oh, are they?
Weren't they stepbrothers?
No.
Marcus Houston and Marcus.
They are stepbrothers.
Girl, that's a lot.
I've never seen them together again. Ever again. I ain't seen no pictures. I ain't seen no tags, no pictures.
I think they are stepbrothers.
Maybe.
Look, that was a 90s to 2000 live then.
That was
what it was. But I believe it. I'm going to stick beside her.
Bye. I'm going to stick beside him. Don't stick beside him,
Okay.
Don't stick beside him.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all. Look,
sorry.
Get off track so easily.
Back to her. And then sometimes just laugh it out. Okay?
Right. Yeah, just laugh it out.
Just laugh it out, okay?
That's therapy too, bro.
It is.
I had to put on All About the Benjamins the other night because I was like, bro, I need to laugh. And me and my son, we sat and just watched the movie, and he liked the part where Mike Epps is in the store and he's doing the.
Was he cracking up?
He loves that part.
Rewind that. He's like,
hurry up, I got customers.
So, like, just having that moment, I was like, okay, like, life is good. Like, it don't even matter about the extra stuff. Like, you just gotta take stuff one day at a time. And moments like that kind of ground you. Like, all right, this is really my reality. Forget the problems that's going on around me. You know, I got love right in front of me with my child, with myself. You know, we're creating safe places and happy moments. Like, that's what matters at the end of the day. You know, sometimes I feel like it's the world's job almost to make you feel like, man, it ain't gonna be easy. It's almost just like,
it's what you do.
It's what it's designed to do. Like, you know, make you feel defeated.
Yeah. You know, even though you might not even see it, it's coming at everybody.
Yeah.
It's what you do with that. Everybody's doing it in different. Life's hitting them in different ways, and then sometimes it's phases too, because you can go like months, like, oh, like, you know, I'm cloud nine, and then boom, like, bop, bop, bop. Like, what?
Not bop, bop.
Yeah, no, bro.
Life be like, hello.
Listen, life had me by that neck this week. focusing on my vision is realizing the reality in that moment, like just being present in that moment. Because I'm like, okay, no, I know I have all these things to do. I know I have blase blah going on, but what am I doing right now? Where am I at right now? Breathe.
I feel that.
You know, okay, what's the next step? What's the next thing? Do that. Okay, where am I right now? Okay, breathe. You know, you just have to take it like that. And your climb, your walk might be a little slower than others, but when I hear successful people say, I don't care what nobody else is doing, I'm focused. You know what I mean? I really understand that now. It's like you can't. You have no time to try to figure out what XYZ is doing or how they're doing it unless it's to benefit what you're doing, because you have to be focused.
Yeah.
If you're trying to figure, if you're worried about, I know as an artist all the time, I'm like, man, I wish I had, a team. I wish I had what this person has behind them. I wish I had what that person has behind them. It's like, okay, well, I'm getting there because I'm working. But just looking at them do it ain't gonna help me. And honestly, if I didn't have to market my music on my own, I would delete my social medias for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm highly considerate still because it's gotten to that point to where I just want to quiet the world. I want to quiet the world and I want to focus and I just want to build and I want to network in business.
Right.
But that's it.
Yeah.
It gets to that point.
I've definitely been there. Like, I used to go on like a social hiatus all the time. Like, I could really do away with it. But because of marketing and networking, it's kind of like, all right, well, I got to still be in this pocket, but I can definitely limit my encounter with it. Like,
Exactly.
I'm going to be on here at such and such time each day posting something, and then you may not see me till the next day. Like, but you know you're going to get some type of consistency business-wise. But personally, it's just like, oh, man, I got to detach because
It's not where you're at right now.
it's becoming its own world, and I feel like I'm the outsider anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, well, I'm not one to try to fit in anyway. So it's like, well, I can really do away with this.
Yeah.
I like my own reality. Like, I have to deal with the people and not deal with, but I encounter and engage with day-to-day people like you, my family. It's just like, okay, this is my reality. 100,000 people on social media that I've never met before is not my reality, So it's like, for me to spend 10 hours plus on a social app that I don't even know these people, it's kind of like, well, what about those 10 hours of the people that's down the street that you really be seeing every day? Like some type of actual engagement. I try to really stay focused on that because you get so wrapped up in something that's just like not even real. You step outside and you don't know those people. Like somebody you could walk past so many Facebook friends that you never even know.
Never even met before.
Never had a conversation with, but you know them on social media.
Right.
What's crazy is I was just walking down 4th Street after I got off and I saw this girl in this beautiful dress. And I was like, oh my gosh, that looks like one of the dresses that Zay sells in her boutique, Savage Beauty. And so,
Insert.
I went on Facebook and on her story, she posted the girl. I'm like, that is such a small world, but it's not.
Right.
But that is social media playing into reality.
Yeah.
You're not going to run into Kanye West at the Mercedes-Benz
Stadium,
not in your city. Okay?
He didn't come
Probably
He
not
do.
If
But
Kanye come
not
along,
what's
he's
going
gonna
on
have
right
a
now.
mask on his face, and people gonna think he's homeless. But he's
Hey,
not.
for real.
It's really Kanye West.
Listen,
In
The
disguise.
man be doing
He in disguise.
But
I guess the point is like that 10 hours that we do use, because I don't even realize how much I'm on social media until I tell myself I'm not going to go on it.
Yeah.
Then I go looking for the apps.
Yeah.
It's like that time, I am literally like in a boxing ring trying to focus and give that time to my goals. It's hard.
have you tried to organize your thoughts though? Because sometimes it's like, all right, this is a daily thing. This is a weekly thing. This is a monthly thing, and this is a yearly thing. And that can help space things out so it doesn't seem like you just got so much going on in one day. Because a lot of things you can only do in a day. Like if you got $10,000 in debt, you think you can solve that in one day? You know,
Right.
like that's when you plan and you kind of like, all right, well, every week I'm gonna pay $100 towards that debt.
Right.
That's something I can do weekly, but it's not on
You can
my
move
mind
it
as
to
a
a
stressor.
weekly
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. You can expand it if you can.
Exactly.
Looking at what
And
you can
see,
expand.
I'm glad y'all said it like that too, because the thing is, I know this, but it's applying this.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I feel
I'll write a schedule. I bought a planner, but keeping up with the planner, it's like, dang, I got my phone in my hand more than I got a planner in my hand. So,
yeah.
right? So it's just like, I went a good 3 months of scheduling, and staying consistent with the podcast has definitely helped. But I had a friend of mine as well who recommended to me all the time. It's like, make daily goals, weekly goals, and monthly goals, and yearly goals. And I'm just like, okay.
It's tough.
But
it's
it's
tough. You have to write
yeah.
it down and actually stick to it because, well, if you're not in the mood to do that daily goal, you rather do
Right.
tomorrow's goal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some that you have planned for this day, but you
this
like
week. I heard something this week that was like, dang. Said discipline is doing the thing you hate like you love it. And I was like,
was that in the video?
That was a TikTok,
yeah.
hey, TikTok be coming.
That's real.
Listen.
Hey yo, yeah.
be
TikTok,
coming in clutch.
it's not just entertainment.
No.
I've
It's
seen
Maybe
some stuff
that was
on there.
one of my hours, maybe one of my 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Could've
They have some stuff on there. They showing you how to cook stuff, make stuff,
Right.
like really putting
I
you
guess
up on
it's
some
the
knowledge.
knowledge because if you on there just to really be social and like,
Right.
Yeah.
there's a good and negative in
Mhm.
anything.
Yeah.
So I feel like with technology, if you're using it for a good purpose, it's good.
Right.
But
Right.
if you're on there to do other stuff and then you get wrapped up in it, then
then your reality starts getting affected
Right.
negatively.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes a problem.
yeah.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I mean, if you were supposed to be, like, for example, I was supposed to be here. I was late today, y'all. But, like, let's say, okay.
Accountability.
Look,
I love it.
I was late today. But look, so let's say, like, the reason I was late, I was in my bed and I was just scrolling through TikTok just laughing at you. I just couldn't, like, I was looking at, I was looking at the time, I was looking at my phone, like, ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, 5 more minutes. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that is it becomes negative because you're not doing anything productive on that. Like, you're just laughing at, laughter is good. But you gotta know laughter. Laughter is good. Laughter? Laughter is good. That sounds like something
All
you
the
would say.
tongue ties I understand.
Yeah. It would be good to have that team to be like, all right, I got somebody that can handle my social media. I don't even got to worry about that. That's the thing for me. It's like if I could have somebody just in place for certain tasks.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Listen.
I think the load would be 10
Yeah,
times
for sure.
lighter because it's like, okay, listen, I don't have to really be on here like this.
Who
I
needs
don't
a
have-
job?
Yeah.
Who needs a job?
And managers hire.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for management. Because
Yeah.
listen, when I just realized I wanted to be a singer, that was fun. I was like, I want to
She's
be
got
a
a
singer.
manager already, right?
I want. Oh yeah,
She's
right.
our manager.
Look, Ray, help. Before I understood the business side of being an artist, I was like, I'm my own manager. Because I heard Erykah Badu say one time, she was like, grown people don't need managers. Erykah, okay? How long you been in the industry? Because auntie, listen,
For real.
a sis is struggling. Okay, you
Where's
gotta
that
be
book
the
at?
merchandiser, the booker, the photographer,
Right.
everything. Which is no problem because you learn what you like. You learn how you like it. You learn who you are as an artist, who you want to be. So I'm getting that groundwork, right?
Mm-hmm.
That suffering, endurance.
Mhm.
But once you start to evolve, which Destiny has in her business, you get to a point to where you're like, okay, I could use a little help. I could actually afford to have someone help me now.
Yeah.
Because they can help me without getting over on me. They can help me without interrupting my journey because I know who I am now and I know where I am now.
And like you said, throughout the process of you having to do those things yourself and learning yourself and know what you want and learning what you expect, you'll be able to pass that on to them.
Right.
Instead of you letting them come in and like, oh, like, no, them telling you what they gonna do, and you're like, oh, well, okay, and then you find out, oh, I don't like it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I can see that definitely being beneficial towards the future once you do get someone in those slots.
Definitely. And whatever your gifts and your talents are, whatever you decide to pursue, whatever you view your purpose is, whatever you feel your purpose is, which we're about to get into what purpose actually means, or what your assignment is. Research. Knowledge is power. You do not want to be the stupid singer in the room. You don't want to be the stupid businesswoman in the room. You don't want to be the stupid anything in the room. You want to know. So that when you're engaging in conversation, you're not engaging because you watched a couple videos. You're engaging because you read some books. Which I'm not going to take away from videos, because some of those videos, you actually learn a lot from.
Yeah.
You do. So definitely.
But that just can't be the only.
It can't be the only thing. Or should I say reiterating what you hear and not actually, okay, let me go and look that up.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what that's about.
Yeah.
I just had a deja vu moment. So let me see what that's about. Educating yourself on your purpose, on your vision, on your goals. Which I think the Tea Party Podcast is very educational when it comes to how to navigate and refill your cup. Do that. Invest in yourself. Invest in your future. Invest in your purpose. I just want to shout out Khadijah because every time she comes, there's some elevation. Okay, Khadijah's our videographer, and I'm telling you, just seeing her evolve as a videographer is just amazing. So if you have a passion, I believe in you. What are you waiting for?
You can control your purpose too.
You can.
You can control your purpose. You can change your purpose. I feel like, if you want to be a really good basketball player, you can get there.
Yeah. Like
you
Guy.
can get there. You just got put in. You said what?
Like Guy.
Yeah.
Remember Guy that we went to school with?
Yeah.
Guy was talking about. Yeah, he's playing with Harlem Globetrotters now. He was talking about on Facebook how he never really made the basketball teams and stuff like that, and nobody believed he was a good basketball player. Now he's playing professional basketball.
He's on tour. People are paying to see this man. He's signing autographs.
That's insane.
Don't let nobody tell you.
Shout out to Guy.
Shout out to Guy, man. For real.
Yeah. I mean, but that's just that's what I'll be telling you. Sometimes it's good. People's energy be weird. When you see stuff like that hits close to home, that's when you're supposed to be like, man, it's real.
Yeah.
Drew signing his
shout out to Drew.
His contract.
Major League Baseball.
When you see those wins happen in your hometown, that's not the time to be mad. That's not the time to feel dang, bitter. That's the time damn, this happened in my city. All right, let me get it. I see
give me some of that greatness.
I see what hard work can get to.
Yeah.
So that's why it's all right, when you see people like that, that should instill in you hope.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, replace that envy with hope.
Right.
And go off that, because just like it happened for them, if it's meant to be for you, it will. It will happen. And you can see okay, well, what went into this? Or reach out. Anything but my thing is just don't be idle. Don't just be wishing upon a star. You gotta put some work into some shit if you want it to really work out for you.
Exactly.
And that's where I guess you were trying to say when it's you can change and choose, your purpose. If you want to do something, have at it.
Right.
Do it. Try it. And don't feel and this is something that I'm working on, because I am the person that's if I don't get it right the first time, it's over. I feel all right, damn, I failed. Because I'm not the person that I don't have it in me. I feel I just get it right the first time. But when I'm learning, if you're trying something new, give yourself room to grow. You've never done it before. You've never done it before.
Yeah.
So don't count yourself out. Just try again. That's when life shows you what you're made of. Are you just gonna give up on yourself?
Right.
Are you a failure because you messed up one thing? No.
Right.
Try again.
At least and what I always say is, at least you did it. Because people talk, and I'm saying people because I'm putting myself in that category as well. You talk, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You talking about it, But if you actually do it,
Mm.
that's big.
That's
like, you
crazy.
actually put the time in to get off your butt and, like, actually
Yeah.
get it all together and actually do it. And I remember, like, this time I made a face wash. And it took me forever to actually do it. It took me forever to actually do it. I had already ordered, like, the solutions and stuff like that. I already did the research with Woo. I wrote down the formulas, all this stuff. And I was like, okay. And I think what happens with me, I get overwhelmed and I get, like, nervous. Like, I'm like, like, I don't know. Like, I'm nervous to, like, really try this out. But I was like, okay, just do it. Because you got all this stuff. You need to just do it.
Yeah.
You know, and so I did do it. And it didn't turn out. Like, of course, it's not going to turn out, you know, ready to let other people use or something like that, you know. But I was like, wow, like, I did this. You know, like, I held on, I was like, oh, snaps. And I even let my fiance, I let him try it out, you know. So he was like my little test dummy or whatever. So that's a big thing. That's a big step. Actually just try it.
Yeah.
You know. So and then it may motivate you to just keep going, you know.
Right. I think it sounds so much like easier to do. Or easier to say.
Easier to say, yeah.
Because like
Easier
in
to
that
say.
moment you be feeling so defeated. But then like you
But
have
that's the
somebody be
test.
like, but you did that.
Right.
Then you be like, you know what?
Exactly.
Yeah, I did do that.
Right.
And then, you know, you're like, well, I can do it again. You know, like,
Yeah.
so that's where it comes in, having people that can uplift you when you feeling kind of down and out, like having a good support system and all that.
Exactly.
Like, being successful is not just like, I don't know, it's not like a golden ticket. You know, like, you got to have a lot. It takes a village in a sense, but with all different types of formulas. Like, you got to have patience, you got to have this, you got to have that.
Your mindset has to be strong.
You can't just, I'm sure the determination being like, I want to get to this point, yeah, that's going to get you somewhere.
Right.
But you have to drag along other things too that's going to keep you afloat, you know? Because when you step into something and you really want it, man, you got to be prepared for everything, you know? And it's more than just a dream. Like, you got to really have some stuff in the tuck. Like, all right, customers making me feel this way today. Let me show some compassion.
Right.
Let me, you know, like, you got to really, because if your customer service ain't on point, if your responses ain't on point, what you doing it for?
Your
You know?
communication.
Yeah. If you don't know, you got to have more than just, oh, I want to be successful.
Because at that point, do you really want it?
Yeah, man.
Do you really want it?
Yeah.
Somebody talk about it.
Because you could say that you want it all day, but like Dustin said, if you're just dreaming about it, crying about it, imagining about it, and not doing anything about it, it's always just going to be a dream.
So what's a talent that you all feel like you all have that you don't feed into as much as you could? So like on the surface, yes, I know my girl over here can sing. My girl over here can whip up anything in the kitchen. You know, so what's like a hidden talent that you all have that, you know, you feel like you could feed into some more?
I'm thinking this poetry thing. I ain't even gonna hold you, because some stuff, it just comes real easy.
It just flows.
It just flows.
Yeah.
I didn't even order me a little journal thing, like separately for poetry. And I'm excited, because a lot of times people feel like, you know, you gotta be born with it. But stuff you can just pick up in life,
for sure.
you know, and enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm definitely about to like start digging more into. Because it's just crazy how like words can like depict something. Like it's just like you can create a whole scene with words.
You can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, and it just be so soft. Like before I was not a softie. Like I done been through some things, so now my heart is just like, oh, I just want to be like, wow, you know, soft. Like I don't know, but so. Like doing that, it makes me feel like, wow, like a woman. Like, you know, like it's empowering. It's like, oh, I can be seductive in this poem.
Okay.
You know, or I can be very genuine and soft and romantic here. I can be aggressive here. Hold on, what the fuck? You know, like it's just like it's so cool. Like I feel like I'm a different person every time I'm writing. I don't know if that's crazy, but
And you know what I think of? I know one of like your love languages is music. And music.
Look at my friend knowing me. Take notes.
Music speaks to you.
Mhm.
I think music speaks to a lot of people. And it's a lot of it is the words.
Mhm.
And I feel like music is poetry. And I feel like you'd be doing the same for someone else. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're literally just, putting your thoughts and your heart on paper.
Mhm.
And then if you ever had decided to share it and deliver it to someone else, like they're gonna be feeling, you know what I'm saying? They're like, wow, like I feel that, or they're like, wow, I relate to that, like,
I know.
So I think that's just dope. It's kind of like a cycle.
Feelings, like they create feelings.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm telling you, like
it's real.
Stuff be sounding so simple, but when you really get into it, like, dang.
I love words. I
Yeah.
love words. I love
This is a
letters.
master.
That's how. I'm not.
I asked
What
her
she
one
do
time
with
to
it?
write my greeting cards. I ain't even gonna hold y'all.
No, I really have
Hey.
been trying to get into that, but like that's one of the things that I feel like I could give more attention to. But I also try not to be. I'm trying not to be a jack of all trades because I feel like something's going to suffer and something has been suffering. And so, like I'm a writer on Wattpad right now. My book, let's be honest, has like 75,000 readers. I wrote it, set it there, and came back, and I was like, oh, people are reading this. Like, I had comments and like people are into this. They're crying with my characters, laughing with my characters, and I'm just like, I could be a writer. Wait, I am a writer. So it's like that thing that is like, okay, once I get to this point with this goal, I can circle back around. Circle back around. But
I feel that.
Words are definitely so beautiful. It is. It also makes me understand scripture a lot more when the Father says that the Messiah is the Word of Yah. Because a word isn't just a word, it's a feeling. It's an impression. So when you can read something, you can read a text and you might get a bad vibe from it. You might get a good vibe from it. It might make you laugh. It's just words. You didn't even hear that person say it. But if you know that person, you can read it like they said it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll be cracking up at their messages because I'm like, I know how they said this. And that's so
you
funny
can just
to me.
hear it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, words.
So writing down your vision, writing down your goals, writing down your purpose, knowing what your assignment is, and writing that down to yourself. And it simply starts with, what is my assignment? And sit with yourself and figure out who you are, what you have to contribute to your life, to the world, to the people around you, what matters. And writing it down with that ink and paper finalizes it. That is a contract to yourself. So you have to see it through. That accountability. Purpose by definition is what something is made for, what it is used for, or just why it exists. And it is a complex question. I'm not even claiming to know the answer, but what makes me feel like I fulfilled in my day is doing the one thing that I love and knowing that, okay, this one thing, I know that with this thing, I can help people. I can heal people with my words, with my music. I know what I want to do now. I remember someone asking me one time, and say, Amber, why do you want to sing? I was like, I want to tour the world. I want to be a singer. He was like, no. What do you mean, though? What do you mean? And it was like, that's too general. The universe can't accept that. The Most High can't accept that. Why do you want to sing? What do you want to do? I was like, think about that. And I was like, he was like, you want to be the greatest singer in the world. And I was like, I want to be the greatest singer in the world. And he was like, why are you saying it like that? You want to be the greatest singer in the world. And I was like, I want to be the greatest singer in the world. And you can be. You can be the greatest anything that you want to be, because the person that was great before you, if they listened to somebody else tell them they couldn't be great, they wouldn't be great. We all come from the same manufacturer. Anything you want to add to you, you can add to you. Anything you want to achieve, you can achieve. It's going to take believing in yourself. It's going to take that fire, get you up off your behind to get it done. Yeah. Even if you have to crawl to get there, you have to get it done because you've already made a contract with yourself. And if you wake up and you're unhappy with life, what do you have to lose by trying? I need another drink.
Just go off and try it again. Look,
Hey,
real.
okay?
That's what I'm saying. You can't tell me that songs just don't have like an impact. Like, you know,
Right.
like now some of these new age songs they more beatboxy and they just go for beats and stuff. But when like you actually listen to something with some content, it can really just speak to you and then give you just that extra boost that you need. Like, man, I needed to hear
hey,
that.
I can say those songs that they ain't saying nothing, but you know the beat there that be getting me in the gym. That be getting me like if I'm trying to keep my mind off of something. Cause I don't know why y'all. It was so weird. I'm really big on signs, y'all. Like I'm really big on signs. Like I'm not going to like totally like alter my path based off of like one sign or something like that. Oh, that's a sign. Like it runs the other way or something like that. No, but I do keep. I do keep in mind, like as I go through life, like wow, that happened. Whoa, that happened. What is this? Like and it just makes me think. But I was like, okay, I'm in like a certain situation right now, and these songs I was playing on my phone. I was just shuffling through some stuff. It was like some like R&B, old school stuff, and the songs were like, I don't know. It was like 5 of them like back to back. Well, I was kind of skipping over songs too because the song will come on and I'm like, okay, and then
It didn't resonate.
yes, and actually it would be a song. Actually, it was saying what I was feeling, but I didn't want it to be saying what I was feeling. If that makes sense, like it was talking about the situation that I'm in, which isn't a situation that I wanted to be reminded of,
Right.
in that moment. But these songs that kept popping up, and I think a couple of them were even songs that I knew, and it came on. I was like, okay, I started singing with it, and I was like, hold on. I was like, look. and I'm like, what the heck? Like, what's going on? Why are these like songs touching on us? And it just made me think, like, they're coming on for a reason or something like that.
Do you listen to signs? Do you believe in signs?
Like if we paid attention a lot more, do you feel like sometimes you could kind of expect something to happen or to go a certain way?
I definitely believe in signs.
Yeah, I do. I like. Bro.
I believe they're
like it's crazy.
And if you revisit it or you keep thinking about it, it was for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe that something that's just like dreams, more specifically. Like, if you remember that dream, take something from it. You need to sit with it. You need to be like, Father, what is this what are you trying to show me?
And I wish the Father spoke to me through dreams, but that makes me, but I think
he just got
I really do. I was like, Father.
That's great. I was reading Joseph today.
It's cool.
Yeah.
You said you were reading that? Oh, okay. Yeah, because that's like, it's so vivid. It's so there. You know what I'm saying? But like with me, I feel like he comes to me through signs.
Yeah.
Like through just saying, I'm like, okay.
Maybe.
Like,
that could be
and that's what it is. And I guess that's what I'm saying. I think that's just the language she's choosing to. You know what I'm saying? And he's
that's
like,
probably something that you really pay attention to.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
You pay attention to signs, and the Father's really trying to talk to you.
He know where to meet you.
And I have, and that just goes back to when I was telling you all, I felt like the Father was like just pushing me to where he wanted me to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? By like certain things happening, by like me seeing certain things, me being encounterments with people, friends with those that I'm friends with, I think all that added to that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
That's the thing, it's listening.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people be like, oh, okay. And then they put it off. And then something else happens. Like, okay.
Yeah.
But, they're not listening.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right. Well,
and he's like, oh, you're not listening?
Yeah.
Boom. You're not listening? Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. That's like, girl, look, I'm speaking from experience.
That's what I'm saying. I try now, I try to, not put myself in worst case scenario. You know, in order for me to wake up and pay attention. Like, if I see something that's alarming, all right, let me just take note. Not going to, do too much right now, but if it appears again, it's like, all right, what you trying to say?
Yeah.
Because at this one, it's like, I don't want to get myself in a deeper hole, or I don't want to cause any more whatever. I just want to move accordingly.
It's so tough when you're a hopeful person, too.
Yeah.
I'm a very hopeful person, so even if I do see signs, I'll be like, well, hold on, maybe it's just, we just gotta work through it. You know, maybe it's just happening. You know, but you know, it's good to take into account. That's why it's important not to just totally take a left turn like immediately. It's just important to recognize and just bring it along with you. You know what I'm saying? Not impacting your thought process too much, or your actions too much, but you know, use your discretion for sure.
Yeah, definitely apply wisdom. Like, before you make any rash decisions or anything like that, or you just don't know what to do, first of all, ask the Father.
Yeah.
But give me clarity. Because I need to know.
Yes, ma'am.
That's why I be asking some, but where is the blueprint? I need to know.
I told him yesterday, I said, whatever must be, let it be.
Right.
And I left it at that.
Like, when you start just letting the Most High take control,
Yeah.
you kind of just be like, all right, I know that whatever it is, you have it working for the greater. You know, like, it's not. And it's so funny because as we were reading the book of Tobit, the one thing that like stood out with me or to me was when it was written that sufferings aren't a punishment, they're a test. And that's something that I carry with me now every day. It's like, all right, if you're going through something, this is really a test. You know, don't fail. You know, show yourself worthy of your reward.
I do think that the Father talks to you, and I think that He wants to teach us how to use our gifts and our talents. But I think we're never still enough to listen to Him until we're asleep, you know, or until we're maybe driving and you're listening to the radio, or you catch something from the corner of your eye and He's like, okay, I got you. Got you now. Got your attention here.
Right.
But that's why I think meditating is so important, because you're taking that moment, even if it's just 5 minutes of being quiet and listening. Because a lot of times we pray, but you don't even get time to hear the answer. You just like, okay, pray, get up, let me go do X, Y, Z and go worry some more.
Yeah.
He's like, you didn't open the book. You didn't listen. You know, you didn't take time. And I don't know, you know, what other people's beliefs are, but I definitely believe that Yahweh is Elohim. I definitely believe that He talks to us through dreams, and I have many that have come to pass. I was just talking to my friend Corey recently, because he was like, man, when I got to see you, he's on Disney Cruise Lines right now, so he's going to be on there for like 8 months. And so even though we get to talk, we don't get to hang out. And he
Wait, Corey's on that right now?
Yeah, he's on Disney right now.
Oh my God!
He's
Congrats!
dance captain. He's playing Simba. He's on all type of stuff.
Wow, that's so
The
cool.
Bahamas up there looking like a whole.
Look, he really think he on vacation. He got mad the other day because they made him. He was like, I can't believe they got me working 13 hours. I said, because you're at work. Like, you can. He was like, I wanted to be in the hot tub today. I'm like, you can do that tomorrow. But
I'm definitely looking forward to hearing about his experience.
Yeah, but
that's exciting.
So I was talking to him, and I had recently gone to visit him, and we got to hang out a little bit, but it was during the Feast of Unleavened Bread. During the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the first day and the last day are high Sabbaths. It's an 8-day feast written in the book of Leviticus in the Bible. So I remember consciously being around his friends, and I was having such a great time with him, right? But I was, in my mind, I was thinking, it's the last day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And I knew that my family was going to be on call for the last day of the Sabbath. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm having fun, but I also know that I need to be giving my time to the Father. Now, previously, before this, I had a dream, right? I had this dream that I was like, surrounded by a bunch of non-believers. And that's not saying that they're non-believers. We just don't believe in the same thing, technically. Right. So, and I remember being surrounded by these people, and I was like, oh my gosh. And they weren't even people. They were just like spirits in the dream, right? And I remember running away from them, and I wasn't like scared of them. It was just like, I said, yeah, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I start praying, and I just like ran, right?
Wow.
That was a dream.
Yeah.
So in reality, because y'all know I'm crazy. And not crazy, but in reality, I was with them, y'all, and my meter of belief went off, And they was like, Amber, what's wrong? And I was like, I gotta go. I just got my phone and I got word in my Bible. I said, it's the Feast of Unleavened Bread. It's the last day. I was like, we're all Israelites. It was just tumbling. They was like, this is the first time they're like meeting me. They've only been hanging out with me for 3 days, and Corey's just sitting there like, Amber. I'm just like, you don't understand. And I just start running down the stairs and I start saying a prayer. And I said, that was my dream. It felt like my dream.
Wow.
You know, I was like, I didn't even realize how I got outside. And I was like, Father, forgive me for only giving you a little bit of time. You know, on a high Sabbath too. But it actually opened up a conversation. Because when I came back in, of course, they want to know, why did you just run out of here like that from someone else's house? I was like in the middle of North Carolina. I was like, I just need a quiet space to be on Bible study. That's it. Right. So I got to have the conversation with them about the truth and about scripture. And of course, people don't hear like that because a lot of people don't read scripture. You know, a lot of us have grown up in Christianity or in other beliefs that are the doctrines of Christianity, and we never take the time to read the scriptures for ourselves. So when I'm actually talking about things from scripture, they're like, wait, what is that? I never heard that before. And I'm just like, that's in the Bible, you know? And so having that conversation, I was like, okay, he still used this moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And he showed me he was going to use the moment. And I had no idea. I was like, why did I have that dream? And then when I experienced it, I was like, I would do something like that in real life.
Yeah. And then come back and be like, sorry, y'all, I just, you know, this is what it really was going on.
So me and Corey talked about that. He was like, remember when you ran out of the room? And I was like, we're not going to talk about that.
But he used you because you were able to plant the seed. And, you know, whether they tap into it right now is something that they're going to remember. Like, I remember that
They're going to remember
it.
They are going to remember.
But this is what she was talking about in scripture. And I never knew. So it's just like, you know, the Most High will use you in any situation.
Yeah.
Because they're going to run into it again. And then that'll probably make the experience that they had with you, or the conversation that they had with you, is going to make them a little bit more open to that second encounter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because the truth can stand on its own.
Yeah.
So it's going to circle back around. Yeah. But that was him giving me a vision.
Yeah.
And if I would have taken the time to really realize that vision or think on that vision, I probably would have been able to figure some things out. But it took me being in the moment and then taking the time to be like, whoa, okay. Because now that I've actually had visions or dreams come to pass, when I experience things now that I feel it, I know this is what that meant. Mm-hmm. It's like a download.
Right.
It's like, okay, I'm in it. And it's kind of cool. Like, you know, it's kind of like, okay, I knew this was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to happen like this or it was going to feel like this. And then some things I'm like, why didn't I see that coming? Why didn't I see that happening? And I think, was I still enough? Did I meditate? Was I moving and moving and moving?
But you're also not, I feel like you're also not supposed to know it all either.
I don't think we're supposed to know it all. But I think we're also supposed to pay more attention because we are told to be watchmen. You know, and a lot of the times we are so distracted by the world that when it comes to the Father, even just trying to help us with our work, which are our assignments, you know, he can't even get to us because we're so distracted with everything else. We're distracted with our jobs, which is not the same thing as our work. Your work is what you are assigned to do. It's your purpose. It's your passion. It's what don't make you get up in the morning and dread going to do. Your job is what you do for somebody else. Your work is what you do for the Father and what you do for yourself to contribute to this life, this existence.
I was reading about Joseph, and I read that today, and it was just such a good story, just seeing how the Father used him in a situation that he would have never expected to happen. I mean, you know, he got thrown into a pit by his brothers and then sold, you know, so it's just like, this is your family doing this.
Thrown into a hole.
So then, you know, the Most High ended up giving him everything.
Yeah.
And his brother, speaking of dreams, you know, he would have those dreams. And he said one day,
What's
you know, he
called?
was...
Dreams of Job?
Not Dreams of Job.
What is it? Like
Joseph in the Dreams of
Job.
is
what's it called? Yeah. No. I mean, I know you seen Prince of Egypt.
Yeah.
It's the same people.
Yeah.
And that's why I was saying, like, when I was a kid, I was like, I wish they would keep doing this because I was exposed to the story.
I think
of
Prince of
Joseph
Egypt was probably the closest
from
that
that.
they got into truth.
Yeah. So it's like, wow. Like, you're actually seeing this as a kid, and you're like, and I heard that they made more, and I even remember me researching on YouTube. And that's when I found Joseph in His Dreams, or whatever the name of it's called. But yeah, no, I just started thinking about that when you said it. Yeah.
It's a remarkable story.
Yeah.
I mean, it just shows like how the Most High will take care of people that do you wrong.
Mhm.
You know, like you don't even have to worry about getting revenge. I
Right.
mean, there's just so many like things that you can take away. I was just like, as a child, you remember it, but you don't really, as an adult, and you're actually reading
You
and
don't see it
processing, you're like, dang,
Yeah.
they did like that.
Exactly.
You know, and just knowing like how wicked some of the brothers are. I mean, Reuben. Yeah, and Yehuda, like, you know, Reuben actually tried to save him.
Judah hurt me.
Yeah.
Judah hurt me when he did that. I'm like,
Yeah, and Judah was the one. And then when you read in the scripture, he did some other stuff too that was kind of like,
really?
yeah. So, anyway, I go full circle to say that the Most High will speak to you in your dreams. He will use you in any situation, like He used my friend. And yeah, there's that. Read the scripture. Read
That's
the
real.
Bible. Like, really
Educate.
educate yourself, because like I always say, it's different when you realize that these stories are about your ancestors.
That. So recently I did a DNA test on Ancestry.com, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently I'm 42% Nigerian. I didn't know that. Okay, I got a little bit of other stuff in me too.
Yeah.
But there's also I have some percentage of, what is it? Because I don't want to say it wrong, make my ancestors mad, make it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Also, Benin and Togo. Which Benin and Togo, this is in Africa, on the old map, because yes, they changed the map. You can research this. Benin and Togo used to be called Yehuda. After one of the 12 tribes of Yehuda. Still, the slave coast on the west port of Africa is called the Yehuda Slave Port. So my DNA test confirmed what I already knew from reading scripture and doing my own research, that I am from Yehuda, that I'm an Israelite.
Wow.
You know, and even in Nigeria and in Cameroon and in the Congos, all of these were where the Israelites took refuge in during the Roman Crusades.
Mm-hmm.
They lived amongst these tribes. And even the people there, the Igbo people, the Ashanti people, they still keep Torah and Hebraic laws. And they even say, yes, you came from here.
I think
yes.
it's really only a surprise to
Our
us.
people sold you into slavery. We didn't mean to. You weren't, because it was different nations. And they sold the nation of Israel into slavery. It says that all the other nations conspired against Israel because we broke our contract with the Father. Broke our contract. That's where contracts come from. Where do we think these things come from? You know, it was a contract written between our ancestors with the Father. And He said, I chose you to be a priesthood. And so we start acting outside of that. And repercussions came from that.
Right.
Just like if your parents put you in the best schools and you start failing class, skipping school, can't nobody make you graduate. You gonna fail because of the choices that you're making.
Repercussions.
But the Father is very merciful, very compassionate, and it is important to know where you come from. But I just wanted to add that in there because you were talking about how these aren't just stories, and they're not. The Bible is a historical artifact, and you can research these things. It's not just something that was taught and passed down. It may feel like that if you don't know what's in the book, and there are other books outside of the Bible that are easily researchable.
And some of those will become some of the better books to me because it just gives you so much more context and personality and stuff that's just been like, dang, this been here the whole time, or this is the addition to this story.
Right.
Because you know they take stuff out. So just, you know, try to learn a little bit about yourself and where you come from. And once you get into it, you really will become obsessed with like reading and knowing more, and then your mindset will change for sure.
Waking up to who you are.
Yes.
It says in 1 Peter 4, as each one has received a gift, serve one another as good trustees of the manifold favor of Elohim, or as some know Him as God. So it's saying, you've received your gifts, Some of us know what they are. Some of us still have to figure out what they are. Some of us need to pray and ask the Father what they are, but use them to serve each other, because we two walk together better, right? We work together. We work together better. We can make things happen faster and more productive together. I know when I'm around my friends, I feel good energy. And you know when your friend energy is off as well. Sometimes you could be with people and y'all can make things happen. You're like, man, how do we do that? Or man, I'm so glad I had this person by my side. Or I felt so much better with this person here. And it's not just comfort that the person can give. It's their actual energy. You know, and then the power of words too. So imagine both of you believing in the main goal or the main focus, and both of you speaking that into existence, giving it life. How much more can we do together?
There's power in the numbers.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah, that's just like when they did that ban on TikTok, like the black creators, and then
Oh,
all
yeah.
of a sudden all 11 of them
Corey's
got...
a black creator.
Yeah, you know, it's just
TikTok.
like,
Yeah.
when are we gonna actually do something?
Yeah.
You know, because it's clear that we can. They listen, because at the end of the day, to them it's about their money,
Right.
but to us it's about what's morally right.
Right.
But either way, if we standing on something, you know, and it's affecting their pockets, at the end of the day, they want their money.
Right.
So they're gonna be like, all right, what can we do?
Right.
So when you start to see that these numbers actually mean something and actually being 10 toes down about whatever the cause is, it's
Knowing
gonna
your
make-
business.
Come on now.
Knowing your business.
Really
No matter what you do,
something.
know your business. So no matter who you talk to, you don't have to go to the fanciest schools. You don't have to you don't have to have money. You don't have to be around all these people. You can educate yourself. You can find ways to educate yourself so that when you're sitting in front of that person with Wi-Fi,
They
definitely.
giving you free internet.
That's what I'm saying though. The internet, this phone right here is packed with so much. We live in a society that's so easily accessible.
Yeah.
Like, they keep saying it's easy to make money, it's easy to make money. I've been trying to find the way. Okay, they don't feel that easy. But apparently it is. So I'm gonna figure it out.
It does seem like it's all at your fingertips. I know I saw like a TikTok and the guy suggested like a way, like maybe like a little side hustle thing. You know, some people they like to listen to like rain sounds. They'll research it on YouTube.
Yeah.
But he was suggesting that was a way to like, you know, have your own YouTube channel by just having like including rain sounds.
Yeah.
Like, and that's it, and just having it there, you know what I'm saying? Or nature music. So people look up that stuff, or like study music and all that stuff, and that, you know, that was like an idea of like, you know, ways to make money or whatever. So, you know, you never know what you're going to learn or what you're going to see from it. I think that goes back to like, you know, the positive impacts of like social media today. There's negative and then there's also positive too, and it all depends on like what you do with it. But yeah.
Whew. Now it's time for worst case scenario. Look.
Okay.
Does anyone want to go first?
Roniel, because she's already ready.
Who said look? Okay, I am ready. Okay, I got one for y'all. Okay, so boom. You're being chased by someone. Remember, this person doesn't have a weapon of any sort, okay? So for some odd reason, I mean, you get chased into a building. You run into a building. It's a 1-floor building, but you get in there and it's like a maze, kind of. Like, you know, and you're running, you're going through this maze, and you end up at the end. And you see 2 doors. You see a door that says, do not enter, and it says enter.
What?
I'm definitely doing the do not enter, because it's always the reverse of that.
Or is it?
I don't know,
They
but
tricking you. You don't know. Do you go through these random doors? Like, okay, so also, you know, keep in mind, okay, it's nighttime. It's like, it's an abandoned building. Like, you don't know. Like, there's literally there's no way out. You got 3 ways out. Or you think they're out. You don't know. But the only one you know for sure because you came from that way or try to get back from the way that you came. You feel me?
But
So you're in the maze, yeah. So you can either take the chance and go back through the maze, and you have a chance of also meeting up with this person. And I mean, it just depends on if you can take them. Yeah.
But they don't have a
They don't have a weapon. So I mean, it depends on.
if they got no weapon.
I mean, that's true too.
I ain't about to run. What you?
But you
chasing?
did end up running. They chasing after you and you running. You're running from them. And I mean, you could take your chances and try, if you run into them, try to fight them.
Yeah.
Or you can go through one
We
of those
just gonna
doors.
have to
We
square
gotta
up.
armor.
At this point,
Come on. I'll try
Just
to.
go.
Then it does depend too on like what shape
Don't
they're
forget
in.
that one spot, you just knock them out.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
ain't it right here? What
I don't
is
know, but we gonna figure something out.
it?
Y'all gotta learn those self-defense mechanisms too, because learning them pressure points, that'll get you too.
I know.
Learn that.
I know it's something.
Yeah.
You
Jiu-jitsu.
just gotta do one thing and it's over for them.
Just
Yeah. Or there's the you put this part
never
up to their
fails.
nose, like that's pretty bad. I forgot what it does, but it does something. Like if you like,
This hurt too.
Go really hard, yeah.
Tricky.
yeah. So
Not
what did y'all
just
decide to
we
do?
are promoting violence.
But we are
It's
promoting
self-defense.
self-defense.
Yeah.
This is
For sure.
self-defense.
Yeah.
I would go, but if I had to pick a door, I would go through enter. We just talked about signs. Why would I clearly ignore the sign that says enter? I'm going
So
enter.
you're gonna go enter.
What's
I'm gonna
behind
have
the
to
door,
just pray.
Rael?
We don't know.
What you mean you don't know?
We
You got
don't
the worst
know.
case scenario.
We don't know. That's a part of the.
What you want?
That is the worst.
That's a
thing.
part of it.
Listen.
We don't know what's behind those doors. We
I
don't
need to know. Father, lead me. Listen. Yeah,
That's a
though
big
I
word,
walk
too. I'm
through the
like,
valley.
great, I'm about to just go over this.
That's it for me.
I don't know, honestly.
I think I kind of would like.
Girl, you don't got time for
Keep
that.
the door
Not
open.
peeping. How you gonna peep? What if they drag you in there? What if the person remember how you tap your shoulder and say,
Right. You know that's how.
Crack the
Going
door
in.
open, the door flies open. It's
you
a whole bunch of hands. That's like a scary movie. A whole bunch of arms just pull you in or something. That's crazy.
I can't do that.
That's crazy. I used to be paranoid like that too, y'all. Would you believe it? I used to think.
You came up with the scenario. I'm
right.
Somebody used to. She made it up.
The father. But like, I trust. I really do. Like, you know, my relationship with the father, like, just put a lot of that paranoia at ease.
Yeah.
Put all that into
Yeah.
bed. You know, now I'm not all like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like, you know, but now I'm definitely like, of course I'm not naive or whatever, like when it comes to, you know, real life things, but I used to be like, you know,
I can second.
yeah.
I can better that.
Okay, so what's your answer?
Pray.
Praying
Pray
in what?
Pray about all matters and then ask for the Father to send. What is that? Elohim to come deliver me.
That's what I'm doing while I'm running.
Where you running to?
Away. I don't know.
What door are you
I'm
picking?
doing do not enter.
Listen,
Okay.
I know y'all.
Is there a corner?
There are corners, yeah.
Can I hide somewhere?
You could probably hide. I mean, take your chances and hide.
I'm trying to go through the
Probably
enter.
take your
I'm
chances.
into.
You don't have to go through the doors. You can just stand there and it's so bad.
That would
like,
be me.
you know.
I would just stand on hope.
I'm not staring.
You know how people in movies, they be hiding, but they don't hide too long. They don't hide long
yeah.
enough. Like, they don't hide long enough.
As soon as you peep out,
Right,
it's right there.
right.
Cause I still don't see myself running from nobody without a weapon.
They have a knife. I don't know.
Not she giving them.
Look, I'm trying to make it
the worst case scenario.
the worst. But yeah, no, but you did. You did run. You did.
Okay.
You don't know why,
Ran.
but you did. The
I
dude
don't
looks
know.
scary. The dude just looks
He
scary.
was okay. Sometimes that'd be a thing.
Like, oh.
Cause look, I'm
But I don't
bad.
think I could run into a building though, because I think it'd be better to not run into it.
Right.
Building.
Yeah, because then you
I mean,
really
you're
might not have
tired,
nowhere to
pretty
go.
much,
Yeah. Like you don't know. It's better just.
Yikes.
No, somebody gonna have to help me on the street.
Help.
It's gonna be running.
I'm gonna scream. Help!
You in the building.
Somebody's gonna hear me.
In the maze.
The dude's
The
gonna
phone.
hear you. He gonna come
Right,
straight
he
to
gonna-
you.
he gonna know exactly what she
said.
I'm not over here.
Go
Coming
away.
right there.
Go away.
All right, I'm ready for my worst case.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Worst case scenario. Your neighbors are the drug dealers on the block.
Ooh.
Neighbors think close.
Yep.
Well.
And you see, word around the street is.
Not word around
Word around town is the police, the FBI, they've been down the street at an abandoned house just waiting for the right moment. Your neighbors come and tell you, hey, we know we participated in this, whatever, but we'll give you 100,000 cash. No, not even cash, direct deposit. If you just stash a couple grams of something in the basement, just until the coast is clear. Now, you could get away with it because nobody knows. The FBI, they're not even into it. Morally, are you doing it or are you not?
I can't do it. I mean, okay. No, I can't do it. Like,
Let's make it trickier. Okay.
I did it. I'm not telling nobody that I did.
You have no income coming in, so they know you're desperate. You have a family of 13.
Not a family of 13.
You have a family of 13.
Somebody got to get a job. At that point, somebody gonna take the
That's
fall.
why, back in the day, that's why, like, our great-grandparents had all them kids, our great-great-grandparents, because they needed kids to work. Yeah. They gonna work. No, but go ahead with your scenario.
That's it.
Not the factories. I know. Not the child labor.
John in the yard.
Bye. Not John.
But okay, continue with your scenario.
That's it.
Oh.
You got 2 minutes to
I'm
make
not good at being sneaky, bro. Like, my chances.
Radio gonna tell on her.
She said, look.
I'm just like, look, I'd be like, so look, this is what
That would be her.
She said they did come to me.
And look, I don't know where they went. I'm not about to, okay, so let's say I know where they went, but I'm not gonna be like, I don't know where they went. They try to offer me this, but I ain't know. You feel me? I'm like, look,
she said they did come to me, but I don't know where they went.
I'm like, y'all, I'm cool. Y'all try the Mr. and Mrs. Jones across the street.
You gonna tell
I'm telling the neighbors to try and see. Yeah, go ahead. See if they, make little friendly suggestions. They don't do nothing to me. I just don't want to be involved. I just don't. Because what if it's...
The poor 13 children. Like...
I'm going to have to make a way.
Okay.
Like, I'm going to have to make a way. Like, that's that hustling, hustling our blood.
How many grams is it?
It's about 2.
They try like 2?
Yeah. They just need to they distributing out. So
grams of what? What is it again? What is it?
Hold on, because I didn't ask that. That's why you need your friends for wisdom.
What is it? What's the drug?
It's powder.
Oh, no. Sorry. Unless it's Johnson and Johnson. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Look.
I would be offended. How dare you?
They're sick.
How dare you?
Wow.
Knock on my door.
I see me in my
I should call them right now.
So now y'all being disrespectful.
Okay.
No, y'all didn't try to come over here.
I'm glad you asked that.
That is
That's
important.
important.
If it's weed, that'll make me think.
That
like,
I could hide that.
Yeah.
2 grams ain't nothing.
Yeah, put that in a little cup somewhere. Yeah, ain't nobody
Something.
do that.
But I can't do that. I don't even know what to do with that. What do I do with this?
That was
They said it's
good.
powder.
Sir, ma'am.
No.
You are young.
Okay.
But if they ask, I don't know.
Yeah, I
You paid me for not knowing.
Yeah.
I'm still not gonna know whether you don't.
If you don't right.
But you don't know that.
I ain't gonna give you no ultimatum either.
Yeah.
Because they might just knock me upside my head and just like,
saying.
what?
Right.
No, because me and my 13 family members.
Yeah.
Where you
Okay.
think you're going?
Oh my
They
gosh. Okay.
What you got?
Ooh, look, mine's not as fun, but what if you got your dream job, right? Ooh, but you haven't decided to take it because you're in a relationship that you cherish, and it's like the job or them, and they want you to pick.
Yeah. Oh.
What would you do?
So the job, you have to move,
You have to move.
and he don't want to move.
He don't want to move.
First off, we have to know, why is he saying no?
Right.
does he have something that's there, whether, you know, like his family or maybe his job that he's concerned about, and then maybe, you know, maybe we can like see where we can compromise that. How can we figure it out? If he's not willing to compromise,
maybe he's still figuring out his purpose and his vision, and he feels like he won't be able to do that if he follows you with yours.
Okay.
That's different, because then it's like, well, you're almost holding me back because you're not where you want to be, and that's not fair to me.
And I don't want to hold you back from doing. So you know what? I think determining on the strength and the level of like cherishment, the strength of the relationship. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe we could do like a long distance thing for a little bit so we can figure stuff out. I mean, like, let's say like the start date was like coming up or something like that.
It's done.
Yeah, like, so you have to try to work that out, because I think I don't think it'll be worth like just saying, oh, well, guess we can't, you know what I'm saying?
See, I figure as women, I feel like we always try to figure out ways.
Yeah.
And I feel like with men, if it's not a part of the plan, it's not a part of the plan.
And then they seem like it's hopeless, or like there's no, like, no, there's a way. We just have to talk about it and figure it out. Right. And at least try, because it might not sound good, like that long distance stuff with your husband. Like, nobody really wants to do that.
Nobody wants to.
But if at the moment you don't really know what to do, but there has to be a decision made, then maybe, you know, y'all have to try it out and see what happens. You know,
what y'all do? Are you taking the job? You gonna leave your boo behind? Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today on the Tea Party Podcast and our conversation about purpose and vision. And let us know what you would do in these worst case scenarios. Thank you for joining us for our first season. This was the season finale of the first season, episode 7, and we will be back with season 2. So stay tuned.
See ya.
See.
At the Tea Party Podcast, just grab a glass and have some